Thank you, please. Run room. Welcome to the Wheeltappers and Shunters Social Club. We've just finished our usual bingo session. Will you give order? We're on the telly now. Thank you. Hope you all enjoyed the bingo. Now it's time to introduce the song, the latest record, a good song too. Big hand for our Bernard.
Life is only what you make it, and you can make it if you try. Life is loving and forgiving, it's made for living all the while. If you worry about tomorrow, there's only sorrow heading your way. So don't be a doggone stick in the mud, 'cause crying never did nobody no good. Life is only what you make it, so take it and make it worthwhile. You can't walk around with the world on your shoulders. It's a crime. Whoever you are, you'll be looking much older before your time. Life's pretty short, so you best make it snappy. Change your style. If you want to live, then you better get happy. Learn to smile. Life is only what you make it, and you can make it if you try. Life is loving and forgiving, it's made for living all the while. If you worry about tomorrow, there's only sorrow heading your way. So don't be a doggone stick in the mud, 'cause crying never did nobody no good. Life is only what you make it, so take it and fake it and make with a smile. Fly out, come on, make it worthwhile. Make it worthwhile, yeah.
Couple of announcements here before we start the concert proper. Pleased to tell all members that the billiard table has been recovered. It was found in London Road off Piccadilly. Now, we've had a lot of enquiries about cheques being accepted at the bar. Now, we've had a meeting of the committee, and we've passed a resolution that we don't care what nationality a person is if it's been signed in by a member. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. What a lovely speaker. I can get you a job as a radio announcer in Tobruk. Now, this next act sounds like the latest Conservative Party's conference. They go by the name of In Three Minds.
Took my woman away from me. Made me feel so foolishly. Made me feel so foolishly. Now I'm sad as I can be, 'cause I sat back and let it hit me. Saw him coming and he passed me by. He looked like a normal average guy. Looked like a normal guy to me, but it took my woman away from me, and I sat back and let it hit me. I how lonely I am now without your touch, without your kiss, the things I miss so much about you. But I am so afraid I let the world be pulled over my eyes. I ask you, please, come and forgive me. I beg you, please, come and forgive me. I'll never let it happen again, my dear. If you come back, stay right here. If you come back, you won't regret it. I love you so much, you'll never forget it. And we sit back and let it happen.
1, 2, 3, 4, that's all.
Now, we've had complaints about the hypnotist what we had on last week. This hypnotist everybody. And I must agree it was a mistake having him on. I paid him his fee 4 bloody times.
Ladies and gentlemen, you know, our concert secretary goes all over Great Britain to get our turns here. And it's with very great pleasure I present the next actor who's never appeared here before. He's a new comic to the scene at the Wheeltappers. Would you say hello to Jerry Stevens?
Good evening. This is fabulous to walk out on stage and see so many people, a full club. It's not always like this, you know. I did a club in Accrington about 4 years ago. I walked out on stage, 693 seats, and one fella. With all the confidence in the world, I looked him straight in the eye, I said, for you, sir, I'm going to do the whole show. He said, I wish you wouldn't bother, I'm waiting to lock up. Everybody's got problems, you see. I went to the doctor's this morning and a girl walked in. She said, Doctor, I'm in terrible trouble. She said, I'm smoking 80 cigarettes a day and it makes me passionate. He said, sit down, have a cigar. I came up here on the plane today, you see. I saw this advert in a London newspaper. Cheap flights to Manchester from Brixton Aerodrome. I was laughing until I saw the plane. It was a 4-winger. All on the same side. The wings. I worked to this side. As we got on board, they issued us with a rabbit's foot and a prayer book. First class had their own priest. On the side of the plane, it said, Gypsy Airways. Gypsy Airways. You travel half fare and they steal your luggage. Beautiful air hostess, beautiful. She came through the curtain. She had long black hair, olive skin, figure, oh, like Rackle Welsh. If she'd have been on the Titanic, it would have still been afloat. Got out of the plane at Manchester Airport, I thought there was a total eclipse of the sun. But no, it was Cyril Smith, skydiving. He's a ridiculous size. I mean, the size of that man, he's ridiculous, isn't it? Absolutely crazy. You know what they're going to do in Rochdale, don't you? They're going to tear him down and build a block of flats. He's just bought himself a new waterbed. Lake Windermere. It's ridiculous, it really is. I'm not telling you. It's nice to be in Manchester. I'll tell you something, there's so many problems around these days. You see, this is a problem. Look at the price of food. Do you realise it's cheaper to eat money? Isn't it? Isn't it? Just coming through Piccadilly today, I saw an organ grinder putting mustard on his monkey. It makes you think, doesn't it? Do you know that people are eating dog food? Have you seen it in the papers? Eating dog food. It's very nice. The trouble is, about an hour later, you get a terrible urge to lie down in the road and scratch your tummy. It's a shame, really, isn't it? I've got to look at that mugboard over there because I'm talking about pictures, you know, really. I went to the pictures today, by the way. I must tell you this. Went to the pictures to see a film called The Exorcist. Did anybody see it? Yeah. What do you think? Listen, if you didn't see the film, let me tell you about this picture. It's all about an 11-year-old child who becomes possessed by the devil and kicks and screams and shouts and curses. Frightening, really. Fortunately, the film had a happy ending because the kid grows up to be Brian Clough. I've never seen a man with such a big ego, Brian Clough. He's the only man I know who uses a windscreen washer on his car so that people can see in. I saw him the other day crossing the Mersey, and he was walking. And Malcolm Allison was behind him and sinking. You see, it's not easy, is it? Well, you see, everybody's got problems. Even the $6 million man has got problems, you know. There's a man who's got bionic legs. He's got bionic arms. He's got a Geiger counter in his left hand. He's got an X-ray eye. He can swim at 30 knots. He can run at 60 miles an hour. And even he's got problems. He just got a Gestetner machine into trouble. It's ridiculous. President Nixon, ex-President Nixon. Imagine that, to become the President of America and lose it. Can you imagine President Nixon right now? This very evening, sitting in his home in California, in a lovely big easy chair, watching television, and on comes Mission Impossible. And the voice on the tape says, "This tape will self-destruct in 5 seconds." And he says, "Damn, why didn't I think of that?" But he didn't, did he? It's all politics, you see. Mrs. Thatcher's in now, isn't she? She's going to find a different kind of labour pain from now on, I'll tell you that. Isn't she? Harold Wilson's out and about right now, you know. He just left London this morning on a tour of all our friendly nations. He'll be back tomorrow. Look at George Brown, they made him a peer. I think he's more like a breakwater. I think the only person who went to Parliament with the right intentions was Guy Fawkes. I do, really. Think about that one, he's good. Then there's Enoch Powell, his wife's going to divorce him so she can get a colour television. He loves that President He's very happy, Enoch, you know, because President Armin's in hospital. Apparently he was having a cabinet meeting and he fell out of the tree. You've been a lovely audience, I wish I could stay, but I just want to say one thing before I go, and that is, fellas, you fellas, if it happens that you have a wife who's a bit fat, don't worry about it, let me give you a tip. Get her to run 2 miles every morning and 2 miles every night. And just imagine, after a fortnight, she'll be 28 miles away. Good night. Thanks.
Regarding our trip to Majorca, I asked Bernard if he was coming with us because I thought the food might disagree with him. He said it wouldn't bloody well dare to.
Ladies and gentlemen of the Wheeltappers and Shunters, we proudly present a blast from the past. The vintage Syncopators.
When whippoorwills call and evening is nigh, I'll hurry to my blue heaven. I turn to the right, and a little white light will lead you to my blue heaven. You'll see a smiling face, a fireplace, cozy room, a little nest where lovers rest and roses bloom. Just Molly and me, and baby makes 3. I'll hurry to my blue heaven.
We go all over the world for our acts, ladies and gentlemen. Not just from round the corner. All over the world. From Japan, ladies and gentlemen, Itojo Kumano.
さあみんなで飲み明かそうよ嫌なことはすべて忘れてお神様 Don't rain on my parade くよくよしているあなた文句ばかり言ってられないわお神様 Don't rain on my parade I'll march my band out I'll beat my drum And if my hand out Your turn at but sir Please didn't make it hot sir I guess I didn't make it But with I'm the rose of sheer perfection A freckle on the nose of life's complexion The cinder or the shiny apple of your eye I gotta try once, I gotta try once Only can die once, right sir Ooh, love is juicy, juicy and juicy I'm gonna have my bite sir Get ready for me love, cause I'm a come I simply got to march, my heart's a drum Don't bring around the cloud to rain on my parade I'm gonna live and live now Get what I want, I know how One roll for the whole show bang One roll the bell will go clang I on the target and one shot, one gunshot and one Hey world, hear
Thank you, please. Now, we've had more complaints from the turns. A lot of complaints from the turns about the dressing room in which they have to change. They say it's too small. The conjurer, what we had on last week, says his rabbit fell off the seat and nearly drowned.
My pleasure now to leave you the company of a young man that does not use any tapes whatsoever. It's his own voice. So he's to blame. Sound impressionist Mike Carter.
Thank you. Very good evening. This evening, be my guest whilst we take you halfway around the world to introduce you to a few of the sounds, personalities and musicians associated in the world of show business today.
Flight number 740, will passengers for Paris please have boarding passes ready and depart through exit number 4. Thank you.
really amazing. When you get to London, any Cockney would tell you the quickest way from A to B is the wonderful use of the tube or the underground railway. But first of all, you've got to get across that very crowded road or crowded street. We've now entered the electronic age. You'll be able to cross the road at those wonderful pelican crossings. All you have to do is go up, press a button, we get this particular sound. Once across the road, you make your way into the heart and the depth of London's tube. You purchase a ticket. You stand on the platform with the city gents with their bowler hats, their coloured waistcoats, the umbrellas, the Financial Times, and with one hand behind your back for protection, which you're going to need. You wait. And along that tunnel, within a couple of seconds, comes one of the most familiar sounds of London, the tube, to start us on the first part of our journey. Everybody mind those blasted buttons. And now may I take you back 30-odd years to the past, a tribute to the few.
We shall fight them in the air, we shall fight them on the beaches, and we shall never surrender. And they will say throughout the history of the British Empire, surely this was their finest hour. This evening we present the epic tales of those brave men in their flying machines. Let the battle commence.
Ladies and gentlemen, Gene Pitney. 1, 2, 3, 4.
I can see you're slipping away from me, and you're so afraid. I plead with you to stay, 'cause I'm gonna be strong and let you go your way. Our love is gone, there's no sense in holding on, as
much to bear, as I'm gonna be strong and pretend I don't care. I'm gonna be strong and stand as tall as I am. Gonna be strong and let you run along and take it like a man. When you say it's thick and I'll just hand you a line. Oh, smile and say, don't you worry, I'll find your heaven low. Darling, after you kiss me goodbye, how I'll break down and
All I can say is it's coming to something when we have to pay people to frighten us to bloody death. Now, thank you, please. As you know, at the Wheeltappers and Shunters Social Club, affiliated, we always finish our concerts with a real big star turn. Now, this week we couldn't get one. So what we've saved on money, because it's cheap, we've spent it on scenery. And I think you'll agree that even if the turn's not very good, the scenery is beautiful. A big hand all round the room for Bernard Manning.
There's a bright golden haze on the meadow.
I first started at Lee Road Club Social Club. Metro Goldwyn Way, I didn't want to know. Little Carsey in Manchester. And from then I did big things. I topped the bill with Jackie Carlton at Listeners Music Hall, Market Street. Sent the hat round and didn't get the hat back. This Irish fellow was crossing the road, got knocked down. A woman said, there's a zebra crossing higher up. He said, I hope it better bloody luck than either. This priest said to this Welsh man, I've not seen you at Mass. He said, I've not seen you down pit. This fellow bought a little baby gorilla in a pet shop, you know. He's walking out. He said, listen, how big do they grow these? He said, when it stopped growing, that'll be 13 foot high, 24 stone. He said, where's he going to sleep? He said, anywhere he wants. Bernard Delfont, the big impresario, was passing this building site. This Irish fella did 6 double somersaults, 4 backflips, a jackknife landed on his feet. He said, I'll boot you for Sunday night at the London Palladium. He said, I'll boot you for Sunday night at the London Palladium. Just in case you cut into that one. He said, I'll boot you for Sunday night at the London Palladium. The foreman said, you'll have to take Big Paddy with him. He said, why? Because he said he's the one that shoots him on the fingers with a sledgehammer. Yes, I knew this was coming. Will you learn your job? Will you learn your jokes properly, please? Certainly, but you speak too slow. I can't get them down. This fellow was at the zoo and he's going like that in the snake pit.
And the keeper went up, he said, are you going crack? I said, what? He said, they started it. This woman went to the doctor, she said, look here, she'll have to help me. She said, that lad of mine, she said, he's not developing proper, she said. He's not developing. She said. He's 14 now, she said. He's not developing. He said, give him plenty of toast. Morning, noon and night, toast. Come down next morning, 48 round of toast on a plate. He says, is that all for me, ma'am? She said, no, top slice is for you, the rest is for your dad. This Lancashire lad was going on his holidays, never flew before in his life. Gets to Ringway Airport, flat cap, white raincoat, galoshes, Woodbine. He said, is that the plane we're going on, love? She said, aye. I said, it's an old plane, that, ain't it? Outside toilet. She said, I'll get you there, don't you worry about that. Don't start getting clever here. He said, who's the pilot? She said, Captain Henderson, a very nice chap. She said, be coming through the store any moment. Fellow walks through the door, lovely uniform, guide dog, white stick, dark glass. He said, are you the pilot? He says, yeah. He said, I'm not going up with that with you, he says. You're kidding, aren't you? He said. How do you know where the controls are when you're blind like that? He said, they're all in Braille. He said, all in Braille? What about when you get to the end of the runway? How do you know when to pull it up? He said, well, with being blind, I've got extra good hearing. And you know, the passengers say, bloody hell! This fella's...
48 rounds of toast.
You've got the job outside the funhouse at Blackpool. What I've got to put up with here, you've no idea. I'm not kidding you. What I've got to put up with. By the way, there's a dragonfly knocking about. Don't kill it, that's the air conditioning. This fella stuttered very badly. He went to this parrot shop. He stuttered very badly. He went to this parrot shop. He said, "Have you got good afternoon? Have you got a parrot?" And the fellow behind the counter said, "Certainly." He says, "How much are they?" He says, "Are you taking the parrot home with you?" He said. He said, yes. They said, well, we've got some that's £2, £3, and £8. He says, how much is that one? He said, that's, he said, that one? He said, yes. He said, it's £3. He says, can it talk? And the parrot said, a bloody damn sight better than you two. Ladies and gentlemen, as you know, it's the last one of the series of the Wheeltappers and Shunters. We'll be back with you very shortly. But it's our last night tonight, and we've had a wonderful night. I'm sure you've enjoyed yourselves this evening, in spite of... And I'd like to say good night to you in the only way I know how. Good night. No, here's a lovely song called The Party's Over. Bring tears to a glass eye, this one. The party's over. It's time to call it a day. They've burst your pretty balloon and taken the moon away.
It's time to wind up this masquerade. Just make your mind up, the piper must be paid. The party's over, the candles flicker and dim. We've danced and dreamed through the night. It seemed to be right just being with her. Now you must wake up, all dreams must end. Take off your makeup, the party's over, it's all over, my friend. The party's over, the candles flicker and dim. We've danced and dreamed through the night. It seemed to be right just being with him. I knew. Now you must wake up, all dreams must end. Come on, Amy, where are you? Take off that makeup, the party's over, it's all over, my friend, it's all